그럼 지금부터 제8회 한미동맹 포럼을
Now, I'd like to begin the 8th ROK US Alliance Forum. I am your MC for today, Shin Kyung-soo, retired Army Major General. For today's event, we are providing simultaneous interpretation except for Ambassador Harris's lecture, as it will be consecutively interpreted. Ambassador Harris will leave his post soon, so we have time limits. After his lecture, there'll be a session for questions and comments of appreciation, but there'll be a time limit. We will designate a few people to speak. If time allows, we'll give an opportunity to speak to other people as well. You can leave your comment in the chat room, then we will gather all of them and hand it over to Ambassador Harris. Currently, about 135 people are participating in this conference. That indicates Ambassador Harris's devotion and commitment to the ROK-US alliance. Except lawmaker Park Jin, Kim Byung-ju are participating here, and also CFC Deputy Commander Kim Seung-yeom is also here with us. Today's forum will begin with welcome remarks by President Jung Seung-jo and Vincent Brooks, and MND Minister Seo, Chairman Min Hong-chul, ROK JCS Chairman Won In-chul, and CFC Commander Robert Abrams will deliver their congratulatory remarks. And then we will listen to Ambassador Harris's lecture on his reflections on alliance and his serving in Korea. First of all, we are going to invite President Jung Seung-jo for his welcome remarks. Thank you very much. Happy New Year. I'd like to thank you, all of you, for participating in the ROK-US Alliance Forum at this early morning. Thank you. Today is a holiday in America, Martin Luther King Day, and I'd like to thank all of you for joining us from America. I welcome all of you to this event. My special thanks must go to the outgoing ambassador for accepting to give a lecture on the eve of his final day of duty to share his thoughts on the ROK-US Alliance. Thank you, Ambassador Harry Harris. Despite their busy schedules, some of our distinguished guests are here to deliver their congratulatory remarks. MND Minister Seo, Chairman of National Defense Committee Min Hong-chul, ROK JCS Chairman Won In-chul, CFC Commander Abrams. Thank you very much for your attendance. In addition, I'd like to thank Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine of our two countries for dedicating themselves, even at this moment, in the seas, lands, and skies, and many other spaces of Korea. CUSAP sponsors, advisors, consultants, and directors, and all of you are true patriots, as I always say that. You are translating patriotism into action. I sincerely pay my tribute to your patriotism. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the Biden administration will be launched tomorrow. There'll be changes, whether small or large, the US foreign policy and its policy towards North Korea, and there will be changes to the Korea-US relations. I hope under any circumstances, situations develop in a way to solidify ROK-US alliance and guarantee security in South Korea and bring more stability in Northeast Asia. In this context, I hope today's forum contributes to strengthening the alliance. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you very much for your interest in national security and your support of the alliance. Thank you. Thank you. Now, Vincent Brooks, KDVA President, will deliver his welcome remarks.
여러분 안녕하십니까? Good morning and good evening. 새해 복 많이 받으세요. It's a happy new year to all of you. At least the first happy new year and another one here in a few days. First, I would like to welcome each of you to the 8th Korea-US Alliance Forum. This excellent tradition brings us together to discuss our alliance and to make it stronger. And I'm looking forward to the session today with the remarks we're going to hear. To Minister of Defense So-wook, and Chairman of the National Defense Committee Min Hong-chol, and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Wan In-chol, and to our warfighting commander, General Robert Abrams, I extend my appreciation for your leadership and also for your participation in this forum. And we look forward to the remarks that each of you will deliver. And I want you to know that we at the Korea Defense Veterans Association, KDVA, we remain in support of you. I know a lot of people will want to extend their regards to Ambassador Harris today. We have a good program set up, and only a few will have the opportunity to actually communicate those remarks. But I know that Ambassador Harris will feel our warmth just by you being on the net today. And we have such a great turnout, and I'm grateful for that. So let me finally make my last point here, and that is to convey a truly heartfelt thanks from the Korea Defense Veterans Association to United States Ambassador Harry Harris for your participation today and for the message you will deliver, and especially on the eve of your final day of duty in Seoul. Thanks for your service to the Alliance. Ambassador Harris, we wish you and Bruni Bradley fair winds and following seas. See, that's something you taught me as a Navy officer. We say this as you enter the next chapter of your lives, but please go with our grateful appreciation and with the sure knowledge that we will hope to maintain contact with you for years to come from these two organizations. So it is now my honor to convey upon Ambassador Harris an honorary membership in the Korea Defense Veterans Association. And I'm asking Major General retired Lee So-young, President of the Korea chapter of KDVA, to please present the membership card and the proclamation to Ambassador Harris. So 감사합니다. Together for the ROK US Alliance, 같이 갑시다.
Thank you, General Brooks. I'll read a resolution for Ambassador Harris, honoring Harry Harris, warrior and diplomat. Whereas Harry Harris, while serving as United States Navy Admiral, a warrior in command of United States Pacific Command, was instrumental in protecting the Republic of Korea and preserving the strength of the ROK-US alliance during a time of rising danger. And whereas Harry Harris served the alliance as ambassador from mid-2018 to early 2021, a period of dynamic change and abundant challenges. And whereas Harry Harris, as US ambassador, routinely and regularly supported the activities of KDVA and KUSAP. Now, therefore, be resolved that Harry Harris, ambassador, the retired admiral, is an honorary member of the Korea Defense Veterans Association. 19 January 2021, Vincent K. Brooks, General Retired Chairman and President. Thank you. Mr. Ambassador, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Deeply honored.
네, 감사합니다. 아주 좋은 의미 있는 선물이 된 것
Thank you very
같습니다.
much. It will be a very meaningful present to Ambassador Harris. Now, we have with us many distinguished guests here to celebrate this forum and express their gratitude to Ambassador Harris for his commitment. First, we're going to invite ROK M&A Minister So-wook. Glad to meet you, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year. I would like to congratulate you on the successful hosting of the 8th ROK-US Alliance Forum. I would also like to express my profound appreciation to President of the ROK-US Alliance Foundation, Jung Soo-jo, for preparing this meaningful occasion despite the COVID-19 pandemic. And my gratitude must also go to distinguished guests, including Chairman of the National Defense Committee, Min Hong-chol, President of Korea Defense Veterans Association, General Brooks, and CFC Commander, General Abrams. In particular, I would like to express my deepest respect and gratitude to Ambassador Harris, who is departing Korea after tirelessly endeavoring for the progress of our two countries over the past 2.5 years. I had a few words with him yesterday. Ambassador Harris is a symbol of the steadfast ROK-US alliance, and he is a family to the Korean people. In this historically tumultuous and dynamic period, when our two countries are constructing new peace on the Korean Peninsula, Ambassador Harris has further solidified the alliance. Ambassador has also contributed greatly to the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula and the settlement of permanent peace on the Korean Peninsula and the enhancement of the ROK-US combined defense posture. In addition, Ambassador Harris contributed tremendously to promoting Korea's COVID-19 responses to the world and mobilizing the ROK-US alliance as a driving force to overcome COVID-19 crisis. I believe Ambassador Harris's such devotion and commitment will be forever remembered as a symbol of our rock-solid alliance. Furthermore, Ambassador Harris often displayed his love for Korea and Korean culture, such as enjoying a bottle of makgeolli at a humble restaurant and making kimchi. He will be long remembered as a family to Korean people. Following the footsteps of his father who fought in the Korean War, Ambassador Harris devoted himself to the defense of the Republic of Korea. I'd like to also thank his wife, Bruni. Even though you go back to the United States, I request your continued and unchanging love for this country, and I look forward to continuing our relationship for the alliance through various opportunities in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, ROK-US Alliance is the strongest model alliance in human history. It has been playing the key role in maintaining peace and stability on the Korean Peninsula and developing both our countries for the past 70 years. Today, the ROK-US Alliance is expanding its horizon through preparing for non-traditional security threats and engaging in global cooperation. It is truly developing itself into a great alliance. Under the Biden administration to be launched tomorrow, our two countries will continue to closely work on condition-based open transition, and we will write a new chapter of the alliance together. I hope the ROK-US Alliance Foundation and the Korea Defense Veterans Association become a beacon to illuminate the future of our alliance. Lastly, I would like to extend my appreciation to President Jung Seung-jo for hosting this event and all other distinguished guests for being here with us today. Thank you.
네, 감사합니다, 장관님.
Thank you, Minister Seo. Now, I'd like to invite Chairman of the National Defense Committee, Min Hong-chul, for his congratulatory remarks.
여러분 반갑습니다.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year.
회의를 주관해 주신 정승조
First of all,
한미동맹재단
I'd like
회장과
to thank CUSAP President Jung Seung-jo and KDVA President Vincent Brooks for hosting this event.
서욱 국방부 장관님,
I am particularly delighted to see MND Minister Seo-uk, JCS Chairman Won In-chul, and CFC Commander Robert Abrams.
특히 오늘 이 자리는 지난 2년 6개월
For the past 2.5 years, Ambassador Harris has been dedicating himself to the development of the ROK-US alliance, and today's gathering is especially meaningful as it is the last official event for him as ambassador.
대사님의 그동안의
I would like to pay my deepest respect and tribute to his service.
오늘 한미동맹
I believe that the lecture he's going to give us today will be a valuable asset for the future of the alliance.
제가 대사님을 처음으로 만나 뵌
I met Ambassador Harris for the first time at a military security forum held in Halifax, Canada in November 2016.
당시 대사님께서
Back then, he was the commander of the US PACOM, and I remember exchanging views with him on North Korean nuclear issues and GSOMIA between Korea and Japan. At that time, I was deeply inspired by the clear and firm remarks that he gave us as an operational commander on the security issues of the Korean Peninsula, and I also agreed with him on many issues. I also came across him a few times after he came to Korea as the US ambassador. Every time I could affirm his commitment to the peace on the Korean Peninsula and the ROK US alliance. As a former Army general myself, I sincerely thank him for his commitment to Korea. Even though he departs Korea soon, I would like to ask him to continue to support the alliance so that our alliance can remain as a rock solid alliance and do its part in opening a new era of peace and prosperity under the support of our two governments. And I hope he misses Korea and hold good memories of Korea and its people. I hope your stay in Korea is one of the most beautiful and rewarding moments in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States is going to see a new president with the launch of the Biden administration. And how the US foreign policy and Asian policy will unfold is at the center of our attention. And the new administration will impact Korea as well. Many experts say that the Biden administration will respect multilateral efforts as a policy tool. And I believe that ROK US alliance will develop in a future oriented manner based on the principle of mutual benefit and reciprocity. And I believe that that will help us to project our views in a more future oriented manner. So given the changing security environment and policy directions of the US government, there should be much discussions on the future of the ROK-US alliance at the CUSAF and KDBA. I hope that today's event will be a starting point to open a prosperous future of the alliance. With this, I would like to congratulate you on the 8th ROK-US Alliance Forum, and I'd like to thank Minister So, JCS Chairman Won In-cheol, and CFC Commander Abram. I wish you, Ambassador Harris, success and health in your future and also in your family. Thank you.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you very much. The next speaker is Won In-cheol, ROK JCS Chairman. I am ROK JCS Chairman Won In-cheol. First of all, congratulations on the 8th ROK-US Alliance Forum. In addition, I would like to thank CUSAC President Chung Seung-jo and KDBA President Vincent Brooks for organizing this meaningful occasion. I would also like to thank all the distinguished guests for joining us online. For the past 2.5 years, as the U.S. Ambassador to Korea, Ambassador Harris has dedicated himself to the development of the alliance, and today he is here with us to give a special lecture on the alliance. Thank you very much for your attendance. For the past 70 years, the ROK-US alliance has been the model alliance for the world, which has been possible thanks to the hard work and devotion by people like Ambassador Harris. Korea shares a very special relationship with Ambassador Harris. Back in 2017, when the security of the peninsula was beset by North Korean nuclear and missile crisis, Admiral Harris stood side by side with us here on the peninsula as the then commander of the U.S. PACOM. At that time, I was witnessing his commitment and devotion. And then he came to Korea as the U.S. ambassador to Korea. And during his time, there has been 3 inter-Korean summits, and there were 2 U.S. North Korea summits. He was there with us through those historic moments. So it is from the bottom of my heart that I thank and honor Ambassador Harris, who will be leaving a huge mark on the security of Korea and the development of our ironclad alliance. His service will be remembered as a member of the Navy and a diplomat. Sadly, he's leaving Korea soon, but your legacy will be remembered in the hearts of Korean people. As you often says, the Republic of Korea and the United States are longtime friends, partners, allies, and family, and we will further develop our alliance. Even though you're leaving Korea, I hope that you become our strong supporter of the ROK-US alliance. And I hope that one day you will see Ambassador and Mrs. Bruni again strolling down the street along the stony walls of Gwanghwamun Gate and Deoksugung Palace. May there only be good health and joy for Ambassador Harris and Mrs. Bruni Harris. Thank you very much.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you.
다음은 축사의 마지막
Last
발언을
but not least, for the congratulatory remarks,
로버트 에이브람스
an important figure who is making sure readiness to fight tonight, CFC UNC USFK Commander Robert Abrams will deliver his congratulatory remarks.
Yep, 감사합니다. 안녕하십니까. Good morning, everyone, from beautiful Camp Humphreys. I want to thank General Jung and General Brooks and CUSAF and KDVA for assembling this fantastic group of Alliance supporters and Alliance leaders for today's 8th ROK-US Alliance Forum. And really an opportunity to recognize our outgoing U.S. Ambassador, Ambassador Harry Harris. I mean, this is an impressive lineup, and I'll just say that no one more deserving of this sort of recognition and support than Ambassador Harris, because he truly is a reflection of the strength of the ROK-US Alliance. And as all of you know, our alliance is unlike any other, right? 70 years ago, forged in the crucible of war, and really strengthened year after year for 70 plus years now since then. Our alliance remains underpinned by core values, demonstrated commitments to one another, and shared sacrifice. And these are all part of the characteristics that make our alliance strong, vibrant, and unbreakable. Which brings me to our keynote speaker for today. Ambassador Harry Harris has dedicated his entire life to service. And I can't think of anyone more qualified and dedicated to the relationship and friendship between the Republic of Korea and the United States of America. I think most of you know this, but Ambassador Harris served 40 years in uniform, and almost immediately upon retirement from active service, he was called to serve his country again, was nominated and confirmed as our U.S. ambassador here in the Republic of Korea. So he answered the call almost with no break from his 40 years of service. Ambassador Harris, when he was on active duty, was a man of the strongest character and conviction. And he has served here as our ambassador with that same level of conviction about the importance of the ROK-US Alliance. He has selflessly supported strengthening our ties between our two countries. He's been as the USFK commander, he has been an amazing teammate. He has established a completely open, transparent, and collaborative relationship between the U.S. Embassy and U.S. Forces Korea. And our relationship as a result has flourished under his leadership and guidance. And our alliance is much, much stronger because of it. So I want to take the opportunity to publicly thank Ambassador Harris for his dedication and commitment to service and to the ROK-US Alliance. I agree with all of my predecessors in speaking today that the ROK-US Alliance is a shining example of what an alliance can become. But we cannot rest on our laurels, and we will continue the excellent work of Ambassador Harris, who strived every day while he was here in Korea as our ambassador to strengthen the relationship between our two countries. Ambassador Harris, from all of us in U.S. Forces Korea, we wish you and Bruni fair winds following SEALs as you begin the next chapter in an incredible life. We go together. 같이 갑시다.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you.
이제 해리스 대사의 말씀.
Now we are going to invite Ambassador Harris for his lecture. Ambassador Harris has devoted himself to the defense of South Korea through his military and diplomatic efforts. Though he has not been stationed in Korea during his military career, he has participated in far more than 100 ROK U.S. military drills. As you may know, Ambassador Harris always carries a badge on his suit. That is the Tongil Badge of the Order of National Security Merit, which was conferred on him by the Korean government. I must say one more thing, even though he asked me not to reveal it. Ambassador Harris has been donating quite a portion of his wage to our foundation every year. Of course, I'm aware that he's been contributing to other organizations as well. Once again, I would like to express my deep appreciation to him for his love and dedication to Korea. Also, he accepted our offer to be an honorary advisor to our foundation last week. Thank you very much for that as well. With this, I would like to welcome our honorary advisor, Ambassador Harris, with a big round of applause.
Okay, thanks. And let me just start off by saying good morning to Minister Suh and Chairman Min, Ambassador An, ROK Chairman, JCS Chairman, General Won, General Jung, General Brooks, General Abrams, and the many distinguished guests that are out there in virtual space. I saw earlier Kenny Lee, Chairman Kwan, and Walter Peck, and I know there are many others out there. Thank you, KDVA, for appointing me as an honorary member, and thank you to KDVA and CUSAF for the opportunity to address this 8th ROK U.S. Alliance Forum. And thanks to all of you for your kind words. Now, I can't think of a better way to begin the new year. And as many of you know, my assignment here will end in about 36 hours or so. I can't think of a better way than to be here and share with you my thoughts on the alliance and where we've been and where we're going. Sorry, I forgot.
네, 서욱 장관님, 민홍철 위원장님, 안호영 대사님, 원인철 의장님, 정승조 회장님, 또 이브람스 장군님, 브룩스 장군님, 그리고 화상으로 참여하시는 여러분들 안녕하십니까? 먼저 저를 명예회원으로 임명해 주신 주한미군 전후회에 감사드리고 또 제8회 한미동맹 포럼에서 연설할 기회를 주신 주한미군 전후회와 한미동맹재단에 진심으로 감사드립니다. 또 축사해 주신 여러 말씀도 감사드립니다. 새해를 시작하고 또 아시겠지만 제가 36시간 후면은 이제 주한미 대사로서의 역할이 마무리가 되는데요. 이것을 마무리하는 데 있어서 바로 이곳 동맹에 대해서 제 생각과 또 우리가 어디에서 와서 어디로 가고 있는지 이런 이야기를 이 자리에서 할 수 있는 것이 가장 좋은 방법이라고 생각합니다.
Now, before I get started, let me say a few words on the deplorable events of January 6th in Washington. The violent actions of the mob that attacked the U.S. Capitol and attack on American democracy serve as the sharpest reminder of America's challenges, but also of America's ultimate strength, resilience, and long-standing commitment to democracy. The Republic of Korea shares that same commitment, just one of the many common values that undergirds our ironclad alliance and gives us the strength to overcome any and all challenges together.
먼저 시작하기 전에 제가 한 말씀 드리고 싶은 것이 지난 1월 6일 워싱턴에서 발생한 그 개탄스러운 사태에 대한 것입니다. 미 의사당을 공격한 이 폭도들의 폭력적인 행동은 미국 민주주의에 대한 공격이었습니다. 이것은 미국이 지금 처한 어려움을 극명하게 보여주는 동시에 또 미국이 가지고 있는 어떤 극강의 힘과 회복력 그리고 민주주의에 대한 지속적인 헌신을 보여주기도 했습니다. 한국도 바로 이와 같은 헌신을 공유하고 있습니다. 이것은 철통 같은 한미동맹을 뒷받침하고 또 우리가 함께 어떤 어려움도 극복할 수 있는 힘을 주는 여러 가지 공동의 가치 중에 하나라고 생각합니다.
Tomorrow, President-elect Joe Biden will become the 46th Commander-in-Chief of the United States. Our work together will continue, and I have every confidence that he and his team will continue working with leaders here to strengthen this already ironclad U.S. ROK alliance.
내일 조 바이든 대통령 당선인이 미국 제46대 최고 통수권자로 취임할 것입니다. 우리의 협력은 계속될 것입니다. 그리고 바이든 대통령과 그 행정부 관계자들은 계속해서 한국 지도자들과 협력을 할 것입니다. 그래서 이미 철통 같은 이 한미 동맹을 더욱 강화해 나갈 것이라고 저는 굳게 확신합니다.
Now, as you know, and has been said, I made the transition from DOD to state a little over 2.5 years ago. One thing's for sure, whether you wear a flight suit or a business suit, alliances matter, and they are the most integral element of U.S. foreign policy. This remains true for all U.S. administrations, and is why I'll be speaking to you today first and foremost about the U.S. ROK alliance, the importance of countering the PRC's malign influence, and I'll finish with a few words about the DPRK. I've felt this throughout the span of my career in the Indo-Pacific, but especially after calling Korea home. I'm convinced even now more than ever that there is no more important alliance than ours, and we must continue our efforts to develop the U.S. ROK alliance as a linchpin of peace and stability in the region.
네, 아시다시피 또 여러분들께서 말씀도 해주셨는데요. 저는 이제 2년 반 전에 국방부에서 국무부로 소속을 바꿨습니다. 하나 확실한 것이 있다면 제가 비행복을 입든 아니면 양복을 입든지 간에 동맹이 중요하다는 사실이고 또 미국 외교 정책에서 가장 핵심적인 요소라는 점입니다. 이것은 모든 미국 행정부에 걸쳐서 다 해당하는 사실이고요. 그래서 저는 먼저 오늘 여러분들께 한미 동맹에 대해서 한 말씀을 드리고 그리고 중국의 악의적 영향력에 대처하는 것이 얼마나 중요한가 여기에 대한 말씀을 드릴 것이고 마지막으로는 북한에 대해서 몇 마디 드리겠습니다. 제가 인도 태평양 지역에서 제 커리어를 이어오는 내내 느껴왔지만 특히 한국에 부임한 후에는 더욱더 확신하게 된 것이 있습니다. 바로 한미 동맹보다 중요한 동맹은 없다는 것이고 또 우리는 계속해서 한미 동맹을 이 지역의 평화와 안정의 린치핀으로 만들어가는 노력을 계속해야 한다는 것입니다.
Our almost 71-year alliance was forged in a devastating and tragic conflict, and the alliance has stood the test of time. It's mind-boggling to consider how much has changed in the world in general, Northeast Asia in particular, and here on the Korean Peninsula especially, since 1950. Some changes have been for the better, such as the ROK's miraculous growth into an economic and cultural powerhouse, high-tech innovation nation, leading by example in the battle against COVID-19 and myriad other challenges.
71년에 달하는 이 한미 동맹은 참혹하고 비극적인 분쟁 속에서 형성이 되었습니다. 그리고 오랜 시간을 계속 버티어왔습니다. 1950년 이래로 전 세계적으로 또 특히 동북아 또 한반도가 얼마나 변했는지를 한번 생각해 보면 정말 우리의 상상을 초월하는 정도라고 하겠습니다. 한국이 경제적으로 또 문화적인 강국으로 기적적으로 발전을 했고 또 코로나19 방역 및 기타 여러 가지 난제를 극복해가는 과정에서 보여주었듯이 하이텍 혁신 국가로 변신을 했는데요. 이러한 것들은 긍정적인 변화라고 하겠습니다.
Other changes have been for the worse, such as North Korea's unrelenting pursuit of nuclear weapons and the PRC's malign activities. While the DPRK may no longer be your enemy, per se, remember that just this month at the 8th Workers' Party Congress, KGU talked about strengthening North Korea's nuclear war deterrent and military capabilities against threats and unexpected situations. Yet throughout the years, the U.S. ROK alliance has remained and continues to be the bulwark against North Korean aggression and the rock-solid foundation upon which regional security and stability stand.
하지만 부정적인 변화도 있었습니다. 북한은 끊임없이 핵무기를 개발했고 또 중국이 악의적 활동을 하는 것 등이 여기에 속할 것입니다. 북한이 더 이상 말 그대로 여러분들의 적은 아닐 수 있지만 또 우리가 기억해야 할 것이 있다면 바로 이번 달에 개최된 제8차 조선노동당 당대회에서 김정은이 위협과 불의적 사태에 대비하여 북한의 핵 전쟁 억제력과 군사력을 강화하겠다고 밝힌 것입니다. 하지만 오랜 기간 동안 한미동맹이 계속해서 북한의 공격에 대한 방어벽의 역할을 해왔고 또 지역 안보와 안정의 단단한 토대가 되어오고 있습니다.
But I don't mean to suggest that our alliance has been static. Since 1950, we've been adapting our alliance continuously in response both to the ROK military's rapid evolution into a premier fighting force and to meet the ever-changing security threats that we face. Well, now, while I could list critical alliance developments from almost every one of the last 71 years, I'll highlight the most significant milestones that we've achieved here.
네, 하지만 이것이 한미동맹이 정적이라는 것을 의미하지는 않습니다. 1950년 이래로 우리는 지속적으로 이 동맹을 상황에 맞게 조정해 왔고 이는 한국군이 빠르게 최고의 전투 부대로 발전해 나가고 또 우리가 직면하는 위협이 지속적으로 변화했기 때문에 여기에 대응하기 위한 차원이었습니다. 지난 71년간 일어난 한미동맹에서의 그 중요한 사건들을 뭐 1년에 한 개씩도 저희가 거론할 수는 있겠지만 그중에서 가장 중요한 이정표가 되는 사건 몇 가지만 말씀드리고자 합니다.
The 1953 Mutual Security Treaty, Mutual Defense Treaty.
네, 1953년 상호 방위 조약 체결입니다.
The establishment of the U.S. ROK Combined Forces Command in 1978.
1978년 한미 연합사령부 창설 있습니다.
The return of peacetime operational control to the ROK in 1994. Korea,
1994년 평시 작전 통제권을 한국군으로 전환했습니다.
Korea joining the Visa Waiver Program in 2008.
네, 2008년 한국이 비자 면제 프로그램에 가입했습니다.
The Korea-U.S. Free Trade Agreement, or KORUS FTA, which entered into force in 2012.
네, 2012년 한미 자유무역협정 코러스 FTA가 발효되었습니다.
The signing of the conditions-based OPCON transition plan at the 2015 Security Consultative Meeting.
네, 2015년 안보협의회의에서 조건 기반 전자권 전환 계획에 서명이 되었습니다.
The renegotiation and conclusion of KORUS FTA 2.0 in 2018.
2018년 한미 FTA 재협상이 되었고 또 개정안이 타결되었습니다.
And finally, successful elections for both nations in 2020, despite the COVID-19 pandemic, the National Assembly for the ROK and the presidential for the United States.
네, 마지막으로 2020년 코로나19 팬데믹이 있었음에도 불구하고 한국은 총선 또 미국은 대선을 각각 성공적으로 치러냈습니다.
And that brings us to where we find ourselves today. Both sides recognize the need to improve and adapt our alliance and are now faithfully implementing the COTP, while the ROK continues to make steady progress toward meeting the conditions. This is not to say that our way forward is without challenges. In fact, as this group is well aware, the pace of certifying the future Combined Forces Command and ROK acquisition of critical military capabilities are taking longer than some desire. But this is precisely why we have a conditions-based plan. Our mutual security cannot be rushed. We want and need to take the time to get this right.
네, 그리고 이제 현재에 이르게 된 것입니다. 이 한미 양국은 동맹을 개선하고 또 조정해야 할 필요성을 인식을 했고 또 현재 조건 기반 전자권 전환 계획을 성실하게 이행하고 있는 가운데 또 한국은 계속해서 이 조건을 충족시키기 위한 진전을 지속적으로 이뤄가고 있습니다. 하지만 우리 앞길에 아무런 어려움이 없다는 그런 뜻은 아닙니다. 여러분들이 너무나 잘 아시겠지만 미래 연합사의 그 운용 능력 검증과 또 한국군의 핵심 역량 확보가 속도가 저희가 원하는 것보다는 좀 느리게 진행이 되고 있습니다만 바로 그렇기 때문에 이 조건 기반의 계획이 필요하다고 생각합니다. 우리의 상호 안보는 절대 서두를 문제가 아니고요. 또 이걸 제대로 해내기 위해서 시간을 들여야 하고 또 우리는 그렇게 들이기를 원하고 있습니다.
Without question, the ROK military is highly capable and will be ready soon to take the next evolutionary step in our alliance. I'm heartened by the ROK's long-standing vision for defense transformation and force modernization as embodied in your Defense Reform 2.0 plan. DR 2.0's focus on right-sizing the ROK military while developing and leveraging science and technology to increase military capabilities is a solid roadmap for success. Not only does this approach account for the significant challenges of future manpower constraints, it also strengthens the ROK military's ability to overcome a range of security threats. Importantly, the ROK government is matching intent with action by increasing its defense expenditures and investing in advanced and highly capable platforms.
네, 의문의 여지 없이 한국군은 매우 뛰어난 역량을 가지고 있습니다. 그리고 또 빠른 시일 내에 한미동맹에서 더욱 진일보한 역할을 맡게 될 것입니다. 한국 정부의 국방개혁 2.0에 담긴 바와 같이 한국이 국방혁신과 군 현대화에 대한 장기적인 비전을 가지고 있다는 사실이 매우 고무적입니다. 이 국방개혁 2.0은 한국군을 적정 규모로 바꾸는 동시에 과학과 기술을 개발하고 또 이것을 활용하여서 군 역량을 강화하는 것에 주안점을 두고 있습니다. 저는 이것이 성공을 위한 굉장히 탄탄한 로드맵이라고 생각을 합니다. 또 이런 접근 방식을 통해서 미래 인력 부족으로 초래될 수 있는 심각한 문제를 해결할 수 있을 것이고 또 뿐만 아니라 한국군이 다양한 안보 위협을 해결할 수 있는 역량도 강화될 것입니다. 또 하나 중요한 것은 이 한국 정부가 실제 국방 지출을 늘리고 또 뛰어난 여러 선진 플랫폼에 투자를 함으로써 말한 계획을 실제 행동으로 옮기고 있다는 점입니다.
Now, let me be clear. The United States is fully committed to this alliance, and we stand firmly with our ROK ally, regardless of what the future brings. The common values we share and the common threats we face ensure that our alliance will always be ready to meet the challenges of the future.
제가 확실하게 말씀드릴 수 있는 것은 미국은 이 한미 동맹에 온전하게 헌신을 하고 있다는 점이고 또 미래에 어떤 일이 벌어지더라도 우리는 동맹인 한국의 편에 서리라는 것입니다. 우리가 공유하는 공동의 가치가 있고 또 함께 직면하고 있는 공동의 위협이 있기 때문에 이 한미 동맹은 언제나 이 미래의 도전을 함께 헤쳐나갈 수 있을 것입니다.
So, in my mind, the outlook for the U.S.-ROK alliance is good. OPCON transition will happen at some point in the near future if conditions are right. This is important because, as you all are well aware, North Korea and the PRC will continuously test the resolve of our alliance and will seek ways to weaken our strong ties and sow doubt in order to divide us.
그래서 제 생각에는 이 한미 동맹의 전망이 매우 밝습니다. 이 전작권은 조건이 충족되는 가까운 미래에 전환이 될 것입니다. 이것이 중요한 것은 아시겠지만 북한과 중국이 계속해서 한미 동맹의 결의를 시험할 것이기 때문이고요. 또 우리의 강력한 유대를 약화시킬 방법을 찾을 것이고 또 우리를 갈라놓기 위해서 의심을 심을 것이기 때문입니다.
Now, while we hope for diplomacy with North Korea to be successful, we all can recognize that hope alone is not a course of action. U.S.-ROK alliance activities and trainings are designed to support peace on the peninsula and in the region, while ensuring that we maintain readiness and never let our guard down. There are ample historical examples of what could transpire, including what happened on that fateful day almost 71 years ago, if we're not ready.
네, 우리는 북한과의 외교가 성공적이기를 희망하지만 그 희망이 우리의 행동 방침은 아니라는 것을 또 알 필요가 있습니다. 이 한미 동맹 활동 그리고 동맹 훈련은 한반도와 이 지역의 평화를 지원하기 위한 것이고 또 준비 태세를 유치하고 경계를 풀지 않기 위해서 설계가 된 것입니다. 우리가 준비가 되지 않았을 때 어떤 일이 벌어지는지에 대해서는 역사적으로도 굉장히 많은 선례가 있고요. 또 71년 전 그 운명적인 날에 발생한 그 사건도 바로 그 사례 중 하나일 것입니다.
It's unfortunate that North Korea has not yet embraced the opportunities presented by 3 United States and 3 ROK presidential summits. The United States continues to seek transformed relations between us and the DPRK, building lasting peace on the Korean Peninsula, the complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, and a brighter future for the Korean people. I hope the Chairman and now General Secretary Kim Jong-un recognizes the potential opportunity.
네, 안타깝게도 북한은 3번의 미국 대통령과의 만남 그리고 또 3번의 한국 대통령과의 만남이 만들어진 그 기회를 아직 잘 받아들이지 못하고 있습니다. 미국은 계속해서 북미 관계 변화를 위해 나아갈 것이고요. 또 한반도의 항구적인 평화를 구축하고 또 한반도의 완전한 비핵화와 한국인들을 위한 더 밝은 미래를 추구해 나갈 것입니다. 김정은 총서기도 이 잠재적인 기회를 인지할 수 있기를 희망합니다.
Now, a word about the People's Republic, and that's China. I'm often asked about whether the ROK government is being forced to choose between its security ally on the one hand and its largest trading partner on the other. This is a false narrative designed to sow doubt about the history and strength of our alliance. Instead, I tell those who ask, the United States made our choice in 1950, and so did the PRC. The young ROK made its choice in 1953, and so did the DPRK in 1961. Enough said about choices.
네, 그리고 중화인민공화국 즉 중국에 대해서 한 말씀 드리겠습니다. 저는 한국 정부가 안보 동맹과 무역 파트너 사이에서 선택을 강요받고 있는 것은 아닌가 여기에 대해서 굉장히 많은 질문을 받아왔습니다. 저는 이것 자체가 잘못된 내러티브라고 생각을 합니다. 이것은 한미 동맹의 역사와 힘에 어떤 의심을 심기 위해서 만들어진 내러티브라고 생각을 합니다. 저는 대신에 이렇게 대답을 합니다. 미국은 우리의 선택을 1950년에 했고 당시에 중국도 선택을 했습니다. 또 신생국이었던 한국은 1953년에 선택을 했고요. 북한은 1961년에 선택을 했습니다. 이 정도면 선택에 대해서는 제가 충분히 말씀을 드린 것 같습니다.
The United States has partnered well with China on several important fronts, but the US and Beijing fundamentally disagree on how to approach the current international order. The Chinese government doesn't keep its word, from its treaty with the British on Hong Kong to its human rights abuses against the Uyghurs, the Tibetans, and others, to its attempts at commercial espionage and economic intimidation against the ROK. As Assistant Secretary Stilwell recently said, the Leninist Politburo that runs China wants to set the rules for the whole world, which is why it is essential that free nations exercise vigilance. The PRC is the ultimate surveillance nation for sure.
네, 미국은 다수 중요한 부분에서 중국과 파트너로 함께 해왔습니다만 지금 현재 국제 질서에 대해서 어떻게 접근할 것인가 이 문제에 대해서는 미국과 중국이 근본적으로 의견을 달리하고 있습니다. 중국은 여러 가지 약속을 지키지 않고 있는데요. 홍콩에 관해서 영국과 맺은 조약이 있고 또 위구르 티베트인들에 대해서 인권 침해가 있고요. 또 상업적인 스파이 행위를 시도하기도 했고 또 한국에 대해서는 경제적인 보복을 위협하기도 했습니다. 최근 스틸웰 차관보가 이렇게 말씀하셨습니다. 중국을 이끌고 있는 레닌주의 정치국은 전 세계에 대해서 자신들의 규칙을 새로 세우고자 하고 있습니다. 그렇기 때문에 자유국가들이 계속해서 경계심을 가져야 하는 이유가 될 것이고요. 중국은 명백하게 어떤 극강의 감시 국가입니다.
This is why we made it very clear through our Indo-Pacific strategy that the United States rejects foreign policy based on leverage and dominance and seeks instead to strengthen relationships based on respect, equal footing, and fair exchange. We believe in partnership economics. We will not weaponize debt. Instead, we strive to build environments that foster good, productive market economies. We encourage every country to work in its own interest to protect its own sovereignty. As Secretary Pompeo said, China's bullying in the South China Sea reflects a broader choice for nations in the region: coercion and control, or freedom and the rule of law. And if a certain country tries to bully you, know that we are committed to being on your team.
네, 그래서 우리가 인도태평양 전략을 통해서 미국이 레버리지와 우월함에 기반을 둔 외교 정책을 거부한다라고 밝혔고 그 대신에 존중과 동등한 지위 또 공정한 거래에 기반한 관계를 강화할 것이다라고 저희가 확실하게 밝힌 것입니다. 우리는 파트너십 경제를 믿습니다. 또 우리는 부채를 무기화하지 않을 것입니다. 그 대신에 우리는 선하고 생산적인 시장 경제를 양성하는 환경을 구축하기 위해 노력할 것입니다. 우리는 모든 국가가 자신들의 주권을 보호하기 위해서 자국에게 이익이 되는 방식으로 행동하도록 격려를 하고 있습니다. 폼페이오 장관이 이렇게 말씀하셨는데요. 중국이 남중국해에서 다른 국가를 괴롭히는 행동은 이 지역 국가들에게 더 넓은 선택지가 있음을 보여주는 것입니다. 즉 강압이냐 통제냐 아니면 자유냐 법치냐 하는 것이 바로 그 선택지가 되겠습니다. 만약 특정 어떤 국가가 여러분들을 괴롭히려 한다면 우리는 여러분과 한 팀이 될 준비가 되어 있다는 사실을 잊지 마시기 바랍니다.
To protect the maritime domain, we'll continue to cooperate with Indo-Pacific partners as we've done to maintain freedom of navigation and other lawful uses of the sea so that all nations can access and benefit from the maritime commons. In this time of COVID, there is a concern that the PRC is seeking to take advantage of the region's focus on fighting the pandemic to coerce its neighbors and press its provocative claims in the South China Sea, as well as to bully Taiwan. There is a concern that the PRC will exploit nations in need of assistance by dangling medical aid in exchange for support of PRC talking points. Rest assured, we're watching and the global community is watching.
해상 영역을 보호하기 위해서 우리는 항해의 자유 및 기타 합법적인 해양의 사용을 유지해서 모든 국가가 해상 공역에 접근을 하고 또 이로부터 혜택을 입을 수 있도록 항상 노력해 왔던 것처럼 또 앞으로도 계속해서 인도태평양 파트너들과 협력을 할 것입니다. 지금 현재 코로나 시대에 중국이 이 지역의 팬데믹 퇴치 노력을 악용을 해서 이웃 국가에게 강요를 하고 또 남중국해에 대한 자신들의 도발적인 주장을 압박을 하고 있고 또 대만을 괴롭히려 한다 이러한 우려가 있습니다. 또 원조가 필요한 국가들에게 의료 지원을 제공하는 대가로 자신들의 주장을 지지해달라고 요구하는 방식으로 이런 이웃 국가들을 착취한다는 우려도 나오고 있습니다. 하지만 걱정하지 마시기 바랍니다. 우리가 지켜보고 있고 또 전 세계가 지켜보고 있습니다.
As the U.S. and ROK transform the defense posture in South Korea to better meet current and future requirements on the peninsula and as partners in the region, President Moon's new Southern policy for expanding engagement with South and Southeast Asia under the pillars of people, peace, and prosperity aligns well with our Indo-Pacific strategy. Multilateral security cooperation will continue to be an important engagement tool with like-minded partners in the region as we move forward together.
미국과 한국이 지역의 파트너로서 그리고 또 한반도의 현재 및 미래의 여러 요건을 잘 충족시키기 위해서 한국에서의 방위 태세를 변화시켜 나가고 있습니다. 이런 가운데 사람, 평화, 번영의 주축하에 남아시아 또 동남아시아와의 협력을 확대해 나가고자 하는 이 문재인 대통령의 신남방 정책은 우리의 인도태평양 정책과도 일맥상통합니다. 우리가 앞으로 함께 나아가는 데 있어서 다자 안보 협력은 계속해서 이 지역에서 같은 의견을 가지고 있는 파트너 국가들이 협력할 수 있는 중요한 협력의 수단이 될 것입니다.
Finally, let me highlight the importance of trilateral cooperation between the United States, the Republic of Korea, and Japan. It's crucial that our three nations work together to enhance our security cooperation and preserve the international rules-based order. Notwithstanding the current tensions between Seoul and Tokyo, the reality is that no important security or economic issue in the region can be addressed without both the ROK's and Japan's active involvement.
또 하나 제가 강조하고 싶은 것이 바로 한국, 미국, 일본의 삼각 협력입니다. 이 한미일 3국이 안보 협력을 강화하고 또 규칙 기반의 국제 질서를 유지하기 위해서 협력하는 것이 굉장히 중요합니다. 현재 한국과 일본 간에 좀 긴장 상황이 있다는 것을 알고 있습니다만 그럼에도 불구하고 이 지역의 그 어떤 중요한 안보나 경제 이슈도 한국과 일본 모두의 적극적인 참여 없이는 해결될 수 없다는 것이 우리의 현실입니다.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me finish by saying that I've been given an amazing chance to be the ambassador here in Korea. I say this a lot, and it's because I mean it. As you all know, I'll be departing tomorrow. I'll always treasure the time I've lived and worked here. And going forward, you can rest assured that the Biden administration will continue the U.S. efforts to further strengthen the U.S. ROK alliance. There has been no better place to serve as the U.S. ambassador and no better partner or strategic ally for the United States than the Republic of Korea.
네, 먼저 마지막으로 제가 이제 주한미국 대사로 일할 수 있는 정말 너무나 멋진 기회를 가졌었다라고 말씀을 드리고 싶습니다. 제가 이 이야기를 자주 했는데 정말 제 진심이기 때문입니다. 아시다시피 저는 내일 이제 한국을 떠나게 됩니다. 이곳에서 생활하고 일했던 모든 기억들을 저는 영원히 간직할 것입니다. 또 앞으로 바이든 행정부가 한미 동맹 강화를 위해서 그동안 미국이 해왔던 노력을 계속 지속해 나갈 것임을 여러분들은 믿고 안심하셔도 될 것입니다. 미국 대사로 일하기에 한국보다 좋은 곳은 없고 또 미국에게 한국보다 좋은 파트너나 전략적 동맹국은 없습니다.
So thank you, General Jung and General Brooks, for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts on the alliance. I also want to congratulate you both for leading CUSAF and KDVA. Your two organizations are essential for promoting the strength of the U.S. ROK alliance, and I wish you all the best in the years ahead.
정승조 회장님과 브룩스 장군님께 동맹에 대해서 제가 이런 생각을 나눌 수 있는 기회를 오늘 주신 데 대해서 다시 한번 감사 말씀드립니다. 두 분께서 한미동맹재단과 주한미군 전우회를 이끌고 계신 데 대해서 또 축하 말씀도 드립니다. 이 두 단체는 한미동맹의 힘을 알리는 데 핵심적인 역할을 하고 있기 때문에 앞으로도 좋은 일이 가득하시기를 행운을 빌겠습니다.
And thanks, everyone. A special shout out to Ms. Park Seok-young for her great translation here. And I look forward to answering any questions that you might have.
네, 감사합니다. 질문이 있으시면 답변하는 시간을 갖도록 하겠습니다.
And she didn't translate that, but shout out to Ms. Park Seok-young.
네, 통역에 감사드립니다. 감사합니다.
네, 감사드립니다.
Thank you very much. Now we are going to open the floor for the audience for questions and comments. Due to the time constraint, if you could leave your comment or questions in the chat room, it will be more appreciated. We will gather all of them and hand it over to Ambassador Harris. We are going to give 1 minute to our designated speaker. First, CUSAF Chairman Yu Myung-hwan will have the floor.
Well, thank you, Ambassador, for your wonderful speech, with very thought-provoking, and thank you for your confidence on the alliance. And I share your thoughts on China, North Korea, and also I fully support your support for trilateral cooperation, including Tokyo. Rather than asking questions, taking this opportunity, I wish to
Thank you for your strong support for KUSAF on the behalf of all the members of the board of directors. I know and I have strong confidence that you will continue to support KUSAF even though you retire from the public service. And your dedication and unreserved hard work for enhancing alliance will be remembered by many Koreans, not to mention all the, everybody who joined this morning. On my personal note, I wish to cherish our personal friendship for a long time in the future, even though we live far apart when you return home. But I hope we will come across again, either in America or in Seoul in not too distant future. Many thanks again, Ambassador Harris and Bongoyas. Safe trip back home. Thank you very much.
네, 감사합니다, 이사장님.
Chairman Yu, thank you very much. Now, we are going to invite former CFC Commander Curtis Scaparotti. I'm not sure whether he's here with us, so I'm going to give the chance to former Ambassador An Ho-young.
When Ambassador Harris came to Korea, then the Alliance Foundation organized a dinner. And then at that dinner, I was invited to have Ambassador Harris introduced. And what I said at that dinner was this, which is between Ambassador Harris and I, we share three things. We were born in the same year, 1956. We studied at the same school, School of Foreign Service, Georgetown University. And we shared same career, government service, I as a diplomat, and Ambassador Harris as a soldier. And I said, well, beyond these 3 points, there is something even more important that we share between Ambassador Harris and me, which is our commitment to the alliance between our two countries. And I have to say, the past 3 years, in fact, has not been easy for us. But at the same time, Ambassador Harris, as a good soldier, just kept working, kept fighting, and then kept our alliance strong. So for this, I should be thanking you, but you know it, I know it, we are not done yet. There's so much we should be doing together. So that's what I'm really looking forward to do in the days to come. And then first and foremost, you must come and visit with us as often as you can. So bon voyage, and God bless you and Bruni. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Ambassador An. I would share a fifth point of commonality between you and me, and that is we married women above our station.
다섯 번째 공통점을 말씀을 드리자면은 저희 모두 두 분 다 모두 저보다 더 나은, 더 훌륭한 여성과 결혼을 했다는 점입니다.
네, 감사드립니다. 다음은
Thank you very
권태신
much. Now, FKI Vice President Kwon Tae-shin will have a minute to speak. Harris,
Bottom of my heart, I really appreciate your hard work to strengthen the friendship and alliance between our two countries. It goes without saying, strong U.S.-Korea alliance has been the cornerstone of Korea's economic miracle, prosperity, and peace.
저 스카파르티 연합사령관 안 나왔죠?
When I first met you on the 26th July 2018, I think about 20 days after your arrival to Korea, on the occasion of the Millennium Club at the Banyan Tree Club Seoul, I told you I felt like you're my brother because you and your father served the U.S. Navy, while I and my father served the Korean Air Force. I was totally surprised and impressed to hear your quick reply in Korean, Hyung, which means elder brother. You knew already I'm older than you. To memorize our brotherhood, I have already sent you our picture on the Joseonilbo first page through General Shin already. I wish you all the best, happiness and good health back in the States, and ask you to continue to support our alliance and friendship. Thank you very much, my dear young brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hyun.
네, 감사합니다. 그 시간이 다 돼서
Thank you very much. With the time constraints, I need to wrap up the session. Ambassador Harris will wrap up his mission in Korea tomorrow, and we are going to bid a farewell to him. So I'd like to ask Ambassador Harris to give a closing remarks and our President Chung for closing remarks. Ambassador Harris, would you please give your comment in reply to all of these comments?
감사합니다. 같이 갑시다. Follow the rules, follow the science, stay healthy.
네, 규칙을 따르고 또 과학을 따르고 건강하게 지내시기를 바랍니다.
네, 정승조 회장님 마무리 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
예.
President Chung, thank you very much. I would like to thank Ambassador Harris for his special lecture and all other speakers for congratulatory remarks. And also, I would like to thank our participants for leaving precious comments in the chat room. Ambassador Harris is an incumbent U.S. ambassador to Korea, and he summarized the key points of the current affairs between Korea and the United States. The United States stands on the Northeast Asia and the U.S. commitment to the ROK-U.S. alliance. And at the beginning of his lecture, he said, nothing is more important than the ROK-U.S. alliance. Thank you for saying that. I was very encouraged by your kind words. The CUSAF and the KDVA will continue to work together to strengthen the ROK-U.S. alliance. And under the premise that the alliance is important and necessary for our two countries, we will continue to work together. As General Shin said a few days ago, I had an opportunity to meet with Ambassador Harris. As he said, he will be the ambassador until the 2 a.m. on the January 22nd. That is when the new President Biden will be sworn in. So until that time, he will remain as the U.S. ambassador to Korea. So I would like to hand over, I actually already handed over the plaque of appreciation to him. As General Shin said, Ambassador Harris is an honorary member of the KDVA, and also he is the advisor to the CUSAF. In the years ahead, I'm looking forward to his great insights and knowledge on the ROK-U.S. alliance. As he finishes his post at 2 a.m. in the morning on the January 22nd, I believe he is going back to the United States immediately. He is retiring to Colorado. I wish good health and peace and well-being in his retirement life in Colorado. And even after retirement, I hope that he continues to show support and interest in the ROK-U.S. alliance. There are many people participating in this webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests, thank you very much for attending this conference at this early hour. I know that it is a holiday in America, but you're still here with us. Thank you. Your support and interest of the ROK-U.S. alliance, I truly appreciate your support of the ROK-U.S. alliance. Thanks to your support, I believe the ROK-US Alliance will remain ironclad in the future as well.
네, 오늘 그 한 160여 분의
About 160 people have joined us online. Thank you very much. In particular, directors, advisors, and members of KDBA and the CUSEP and all other people who love and support ROK-US Alliance. Thank you very much. Stay healthy and Happy New Year. We go together.
We're indivisible, no matter what, I'll stand